Hello, DrayBarrels. We're back again after the antics of St. Patrick's Day. All right, Gav?
Yes, thank you very much over there, Ref. Yes, my shit's back to normal colour, no more green.
What, with a dye?
Oh, that colouring. Because it was St. Paddy's Day, I didn't really say, but never spoil a drink by putting that green colouring in it. Oh,
It didn't even look green. It just looked brown.
well, at least I tried, eh?
Yeah,
Come on, let's not start off on the wrong foot here. It was a bit of fun and games, and
it was
I've done
antics.
it. I'd always wanted to do it, and I'll never do it again. So
Nah.
there we go.
Hey, you push the boat out. You try these different things, and you are very good at that, as we saw in this week's little mini review. You tried the big pour straight down the glass. So
Well, that's what I'd, you know, look at the back of the beer. If it tells you instructions on the back of that beer, and I've got a photo of it, there's your there's your glass, there's your bottle. Pop it, pour it. So I just done it as it said, and it come up lovely. So
yeah, it was brilliant. And by the way, I'm outside today. I've been pushed out onto the porch.
well, it's a lovely day over there. I'm still.
Yeah, it's a balmy 27 Celsius. Don't know in
Oh,
Fahrenheit, but yeah, it's pretty warm. I'm in my little Hawaiian shirt.
that is like the height of summer here. If it hits 27 here, it's hot.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I
it
don't know
is.
what it is in a minute, but I've got
Yeah,
my fisherman's friends top on here. Lovely little Cornish sea shanty band. That before that guy and banging his fucking thing, talking about all things sea shanty. These guys were doing it.
I think old Bill Ships would admire that. Fair play.
Yeah,
Um,
I've seen Bill at one of their concerts before down the front.
oh, he was? Oh, man.
He
Flipping
took
it.
the for probably 5 minutes of one song, probably his favourite. He took that pipe out of his mouth and he didn't take his eyes off the stage. So
That's commitment right there. That's
his
commitment.
eyes were welling up. But
Uh,
one news I've got, I know we're going on to the beer news, but a bit
yeah,
of DrayMen's news.
yeah, let me introduce it
The
to you
Golden
guys.
D. Before you do, before
Oh,
the Golden D has returned. The Golden D of the DrayMen's.
we missed it. And for all you grey barrels,
Ye shall find. If you look, ye shall find. And I finally looked, and
and I
amazing,
got
only turned on its side, but completely camouflaged me for the last 3 months. But I found it.
beats my Christmas one. And I'm looking at this angle, and if you're listening, guys, on the podcast, it's kind of glowing white, but it almost looks like it's got yellow stripes in it as well.
No, that's just it's like a fairground or the old sort of fairground thing where it's individual bulbs. So it's
Oh,
individual
okay.
bulbs. Let me
Right,
see.
okay.
Since we've gone down this path, let's have a look. Can you see? Turn it on its side.
Yes.
Turn it off. Wait. There you go.
Ah, that's what it is.
It's all
Okay.
tomfoolery. It's all special effects with the Drayman. Look at that.
The magic. The
Took me
magic.
ages to fashion that out of Botson and Jetson.
Well, we did miss it, and it was always an icon in the garage behind you, and then it vanished, and I did my Christmas D, which was pretty pathetic, but there we go. I'll find one. Um, anyway,
Same.
shall we move on to the next segment?
Yes, please.
I've got some beer news for you.
Have you?
Well, I don't. You do.
Yeah, good job. I do. Hey, I've always got a bit of beer news in my back pocket. Well, this goes back to the start of the month. Held it back from St. Paddy's Day, but I was going to say it last week.
Oh,
There's a bit of uncertainty around with COVID and jobs and things like Heineken factory saying they're going to get rid of 5,000 people and, restructure and rethink about things. Well, a bit of
yeah.
good news for the UK, for Wales, part of Wales called Magna, and
Maggot.
part of Lancashire called Salisbury. The Budweiser, the big beer brand, Budweiser, king of beers, self-titled, are investing £117 million in the two breweries on them individual sites. The Salisbury one is in Lancashire, which is in northern England. I think we've done a review on a place there. And Magna, or Maggot, as Marco is fond of saying, is not very far from Newport, which is just over the Severn Bridge into Wales there. So that's going to create, it doesn't sound much, it's going to create 23 new jobs on one site and 32 on the other, so 55 in all. But it's Budweiser putting a bit more money into that area, so 55 families, if you like, are going to benefit from this. And obviously, if they're planning expansion, only good things can come from that. So
That's wonderful.
yeah,
Wow.
thank you to Budweiser. They said that they want to create bigger capacity and have a more efficient running plant, and they need people to do that. So it's a bit of brief beer news this week, but it's good beer news.
Just a question on that. So Budweiser actually have plants, factories, if you will, production places in Maga and the northern one, right?
The northern one, the English one.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, the English
Salisbury, yes.
one. Okay, well, I didn't
Forgive
realize
his ignorance, DrayBarrels.
Well, it is a northern place, Lancashire, right?
Northern town, yes.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I didn't realize they had.
They want to deliver great beers for many years to come. That's what they've said, and be a catalyst for the recovery post-COVID. So that's some good news. Beer related. It's a brief bit of news, but it's good news. So
well, yeah, like you say, we need those in these trying times, and especially in Wales. You know, as a Welshman, I know how hard it is to get jobs, and so many factories have been closing over 10, 20 years in Wales.
I think it's like it everywhere, though. You know, the world's changing. There's not so many people in shops, and it's bigger outlets that are selling things, and a lot of stuff's online. So this is,
yeah,
it's a big brewery. It's one of the biggest ones worldwide, but it's investing a bit of money, and it's going to get people some employment in the beer industry. So fair play.
That's great. That's great. Good news. Thanks for that. I guess we should just get straight into our beers.
Yeah, let's get a pour on, eh? So what have you got over there then, Ref?
Do you want me to kick us off?
Well, get the pour on, introduce it, and then I'll get mine so we can sup away.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have, I was thinking about doing a stubby fecker, a banana one I've got lined up, but that'll be in a mini review. So I've got a full-on can here. It's Viva la Beaver. Look at that can. So it's from...
Hold it still. Viva la Beaver. Oh, right. So anyone that's listening to this, it's got like a beaver screaming at you. One hand's got a pint of beer in his hand, the other hand's got some maracas, and he's in full Mexican dress there with the sombrero on top. The Belching Beaver Brewery.
Oh. And you can see the colors of the Mexican flag in the name, and it's a Mexican chocolate peanut butter stout. So it's a full can.
Before you crack on, that is something I wouldn't have picked off the shelf up until a few weeks ago when I tried that peanut porter reluctantly, and it blew me socks off. So I think and it's something a bit special there. If you enjoyed it like I enjoyed the one I had, I know it's a different brewery and it was over here, but let's see what happens.
You did, and I gotta say there are lots of peanut butter stouts in America, and you can understand that peanut butter is a big thing over here.
Can you get a peanut butter and jelly stout?
Well, there you go. I think I've seen one of those. That'd be one. But I wonder what makes it Mexican. But I guess we'll find out. So
it's either you Mexican or you Mexican.
Mexican. Well, I've got a big old Mexican right here.
Yeah, so that's a fair size.
What's that, pint there?
Getting up that way, isn't it? But so that is it's a stout, you said, yeah?
It's a stout. It's chocolate stout.
Yeah.
It's peanut butter, and it's a full pint. So it's 7.5%. I'll
Oh,
drop
nice.
that right now, and we can probably talk a little bit about it later. But it's,
Okay.
but I'm gonna just get a. How do we do this normally? Forgive my ignorance. It's been a while. Do
I
we
think
have a
the
little?
sun's playing havoc with you, is it? It's
Well, it's
messing up.
bouncing. It's bouncing off my my
Well, you
staff.
always like to stick your nose in it and have a sniff. And
Yeah, exactly. We should do that first, right? And have a maybe a taste and then move on. So definitely peanut chocolate. Very, very chocolatey. Oh, wow, that's I don't know what to say. That's lovely. Oh, look at the shine on my glass. If you're
yeah.
listening, there's a bit of a
Oh, it's like Tinkerbells on the screen or something.
right. Yes, little sparkles of
Yeah.
beautifulness.
Usually it's from your eyes, but
Oh yeah. Okay, let me have a taste here. Gav.
you have to stop talking to have a taste.
I'm trying. Oh, that's rich. That's creamy. That's sweet. I know you talked a bit about sweet stouts yesterday, and this is kind of similar to those milk stouts,
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, delicious. I am picking. I think the chocolate's filtering a bit more for me, But yeah, there's definitely peanut butter there. Some just hints of it.
Yeah.
Don't know what
Like
makes it Mexican though.
maybe the brewery. That's what I'm hazarding a guess at.
Well, they're from
I know
California.
that you don't. Oh, aren't they? Are they?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there
But
many beavers in Mexico then?
do you know? I don't know. Obviously, they are here. There's none in
Or is it
Texas.
or is it like a euphemism? Like get your Mexican beaver out?
Oh, don't. No, that's a British thing, isn't it?
No.
Euphemism.
Well, no, a euphemism is just if it's suggesting it's something different.
Well,
Like,
no, that's what I mean. It would the term beaver in the UK, just for disclosure to any of our American listeners, can mean something else.
what does it mean? You better explain to him because you're from Texas. I'm not sure.
Why
I just
do
asked
I?
if they were Mexican beavers and if it was a euphemism.
Why do
But
I do? Why do I do my? Why do I
you
do
found
my?
yourself in this cul-de-sac now. You better turn around and get out of it. I mean, otherwise you're going to have a load of Texans, at least a load of Texans, and maybe
The
some other
fax,
states
the fax
walking
machine will
around
be going.
baffled. Yeah,
Okay,
man.
okay. So just for what's the word? Just for
Clarity,
clarity, yeah.
clarification.
Just for clarity for all you American listeners here with my wonderful accent. Um, a beaver is sometimes not. It's probably a more of an old-fashioned phrase, but a beaver in UK slang is sometimes referred to a lady's
Part.
parts. Yeah.
Let's not. I can see the way you're going there. You was heading down that. We don't want
Yeah.
any blue on this show. We don't need any blue on this show.
Nah,
So,
it's not something but it's obviously ingrained in our culture a little bit, but it's phased out. It's very old fashioned phrase, right? Yeah.
well, it's a bit like we call cats over here pussy cats, but if you call them pussies in America, it refers to the same sort of thing. And I think for a family show that this is, apart from your absolute potty mouth at times, I think that we'll leave it there. That's self-explanatory.
Yeah, I
But
was
if you
gonna
don't
tell
mind, I'm gonna turn this ship around. I'm gonna pour my beer so I can join in.
yes, please. Let's get out to the gutter, shall we?
Sometimes I really do wonder about you.
Oh, cheers for that.
Right. Okay. So after a few cans recently and a few IPAs and obviously stouts and things like that, I've gone for an English beer. I have gone for a glass bottle, the old style here, and I've gone for a Dartmoor Brewery's Dragon's Breath beer.
So you've gone local.
Gone local, yes.
Well,
This is
finally, we've been waiting for this moment.
This is from Dartmoor. This is one of the national parks in Devon. We got two. We got Exmoor, which I used to live in the foothills of Exmoor a little bit, and we got Dartmoor, which is to the south of Devon, and lovely big area of outstanding natural beauty. And this is from the Dartmoor Brewery, as I've said. And I'm going to crack it open because I've held this back for a couple of weeks.
Oh, yes.
Let's pop it open there.
You do get a lot of bottles, don't you?
Yeah, well, it's an English thing, isn't it? The big brown dark bottle pint. Yeah. It's a big sort of thing over here. And gone back to the bottle because you get a pint in it. So I like a pint. So I've gone for the old post banger again. Just because it's clear and it's got no... I don't like putting beers really in other beers' glasses, if you know what I mean. I think we spoke about this before, like pouring a Guinness Carling glass or having an ale in a Carlsberg glass or something like that. So at the moment, without any pattern, I've just got this old post banger.
I think it's a thing of the DrayMen's.
Dartington Crystal. I think I mentioned that in a podcast.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
So here we go. Let's get the pour on before it breaks my arm holding it.
What is this, Mark? Is this a stout or what?
No, it's an ale.
It's just an ale. Okay.
Just an ale. They don't actually do a stout, which was a bit disappointing. We'll get onto that a bit later.
Yeah.
So there you go. So it looks very dark on camera, but it's actually a ruby red color my end. It's just a ruby beer, ale.
More of a red ale.
Well, there's not much scent to it, to be honest. You can smell it's beer, but it's very, very... It's very weak. It's nothing overpowering popping out there or even jumping out. It's just nothing. You just...
Some are like that, but they surprise you, right? Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all fizzed out now. There's a tiny bit of head on it. So let's give it a glug. Oh, that is a ruby ale. Yeah. It's pretty nice. It's standard. I've drunk a few of the beers that they've got before. Jail Ale is a very popular one around here, and that is a nice beer to drink. And this one, I've never had this Dragon's Breath before, so we'll see how it goes as it goes on. But at the moment, it's not. It's nice, but it's not boom at the minute.
Yeah, I like the name though. I
don't dislike it. Oh, Dragon's Breath, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
I couldn't actually find out why they called it that. That was the only thing I couldn't really find out. I mean, the others are self-explanatory, and we talk about them later on. But Dragon's Breath, I suppose.
There's a lot of dragons in Welsh and Celtic and even Devon and Cornwall in the culture, you know.
There is another Dragon's Breath beer, which is I think it's a lager from Bavaria, from Germany way. So don't get it confused with that. This is the English one.
Okay.
Oh, it is. Oh, hang on a minute. I've just done one of those private burps to anyone that can't see me. Yeah.
That's all right.
Sometimes you get a nice tasting burp, and that was a nice taste. This nice little beery burp there.
We try and keep our burps private, don't we, as much as we can? And maybe it filters through on the podcast. I don't know. Let us know, DrayBarrels.
Sometimes you drink so fast, and then it appears that you come up from the depths like you're drowning at times. But
it's and I'm notorious for drinking fast, eating fast. I don't slow that shit down. I mean, It's bad for you. So they say. I mean, is there any scientific evidence for eating and drinking fast to say it's bad for you?
Well, apart from the people that are choked to death, then no, I don't think there is. So I'll give you a little bit about this. I think we'll go back and forth, shall we?
Yeah, do you want me to get
Try
my...
that.
Yeah, let me talk about my brewery and then we can go into yours and right?
Yeah, a little bit of back and forth. Why not?
Back and forth, forth and back. Zig and zag, as a friend of mine likes to say a lot. Um,
So what
so
percentage? You had a 7.5, was it, on yours?
yeah, this one's a 7.5 beer, so it's it's up there, I guess, in the scheme of things. And I'm just going to read some of the stuff just to kind of explain the beer itself. Really, is Viva la Beaver is loaded with notes of creamy peanut butter, cinnamon, and coffee. I didn't pick up the cinnamon, and normally that's quite a strong taste, right? Maybe subtly. I mean, chocolate and peanut butter definitely, and coffee. Sorry, so there's coffee there. It's a decadent milk stout. So I know you did a milk stout this week, so it's kind of on that lines. And it's the perfect dessert beer to finish off your meal.
Yeah,
There
we
you go.
discussed that before, didn't we? A lot of these sort of flavored ones. I mean, that's got added peanut, and ones with marshmallow and orangey ones. You can imagine. I think dessert beer is perfect explanation for it. It's like an end of the night beer, or maybe the end
Yeah.
of the meal, but you wouldn't want to drink it for the entire night.
Nah, and I
You'd
kind
enjoy
of
it for its standalone beauty, if you will.
well, yeah, and it's kind of I don't think I mentioned this before, but whenever I go to my in-laws, I'm always it comes to dessert, and my wife has dessert, and my son and my in-laws always have dessert, but my dessert is always a beer. So I'm not a big sweet guy, to be honest with you. I prefer the savory part of
So
things.
what sort of things have they got up on offer for dessert then?
What do they have for dessert?
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
pass.
it's
Yeah.
normally like it may be pecan pie or it may be ice
Oh, not
cream.
this pecan. What the fuck's that about? Pecan?
Well, it's a nut, isn't it?
It's called pecans.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right, actually.
No, I am right.
Why do I call it pecan then?
You're turning
Where did
your.
that come from? Is it a Texas thing?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I'm racking my
Or is it
brain here.
your love affair with Captain Picard?
Possibly.
Unless I'm not gonna
Okay.
fucking. I'm not sorry,
Okay.
folks. I
We could
can't.
go. We
I'm
could
not
go
gonna
on.
get him on the fucking rabbit hole that is Star Trek. So let's. I'm gonna steer away from that
No,
immediately.
we're trying to keep it a
Apologize.
bit more concise this week, where we're trying. So, okay, I'm not going to bother. So I've talked about the beer itself. So let's kind of talk about the brewery briefly, and then maybe I'll go back to you about your brewery, and then we'll talk about the beers they do. So, um, Belching Beaver Brewery, isn't that a name? Oh, come on! Cheers to that. I love
Triple
it.
B. It's a 3B.
Yeah, right. So, Belching Beer Brewery launched in 2012. So actually, the same year my son was born. Um, and it's evolved from the desire to make great beer and have a damn good time, as they state, doing it. So I guess the
Oh, that's clever, isn't it?
damn good time. The award-winning craft beer company is focused on two things. First, have a brand that offers quality craft beer while also being whimsical, fun, and inspire good times. Each Belgian each Belgian, that's a tongue twister.
Go on, let's have it slow. Let's have it slow. Let's have it right.
Belching Beaver Beer release carries its own individual style and personality. Okay, standard stuff. Second, make a beer for everyone and all palates, from easy drinking blondes, triple IPAs to milk stouts. Belching Beaver Brewery has it all.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? I mean, I went on about the Polish one last night, the brewery that I had over there, the Brewery of the Bridges, and
Oh, I like that.
you know, all of these breweries, I think that you get good people, and it's good people, and a lot of their things, and I'll get onto this one in a minute because mine's very similar. You get people just wanting, basically, at the end of the day, is you want to make good beer that makes people happy and makes people have good time, and that's nice, isn't it? You don't. It's. I mean, I like running, just to draw the comparison with running, and of all the sports, like I like trail running, marathon running, and I've actually run the trail marathon across Dartmoor, which is 5,000 feet of ascent and descent over all the moorland and up all the tors and stuff. And when you go to those events, everyone is having a good time. Everyone is happy, everyone's friendly, everyone's encouraging. And I feel that the beer community is like that as well. You know, they just want to have the nicest things and people have a great time. And I love that. It's fantastic. And a
Yeah,
little bit, just aside, that brewery that we were talking about earlier off camera that got back to us, you know, there's that one near you. It's a big trail event above Blanco there. Was it called
so
Johnstown?
Real Ale Brewing and Johnson City.
Yeah, Johnson City, that's right.
Yeah,
And when I was reading about them, they got a big trail event this weekend. You know, a lot of distances off road on some of the most famous trails in Texas. And at the end, if you're in the top 25, you get a token. You get a free beer in the beer garden at the end. Oh, what a prize that is!
that is marvelous, isn't it? It's just
Hey,
really,
I've done a few where you get. What have I done before? I've done a Christmas one where we all got a little Christmas pudding at the end. I've done
yeah.
the one at Woolacombe, and you had a cream tea at the end with a scone. Not quite what I wanted at the end of a marathon, but still different. And
That's
um, and I've done other ones we get T-shirts and obviously medals and certificates, all that type of thing. But a beer at the end, if anything's going to make you run quick, hey.
absolutely. Isn't that
And
just such an
just to let you
encouragement?
in it, Ref, I did put your name forward. I said, unfortunately, I can't get there because I'm in England. Uh, the ref
Okay,
over there, he'll be up
no,
there
no
in his
pressure there. No
Welsh
pressure.
rugby top and his corduroy trousers. He'll run it.
I'm trying to enlist my friend Steve into it as a runner, and I will try and enlist. But it's perfect. I mean, it's a great day, isn't it? Sunday to do that. They're
Is
doing it on
Steve
a.
a runner? Is he a runner?
Steve is a runner, so if you're listening, Steve, and you're going to listen to this on Friday, and I'll ready.
Yeah, do it for us. Let us know how it is.
I know.
Our
If
running
not,
events over here aren't quite up and running yet. They are soon, and
hmm,
I always like to have I used to one a month at least, but not so much in the last couple of years.
lockdown
But
and stuff has been
I
hard.
tend to pick 2 or 3 big races a year and go for that. But we haven't done any for over a year now because of COVID and that. So
That's just
I'm a
nuts.
bit out of shape, but we'll get back. Once you got something to aim for, that's the dream, isn't it?
There you go. You get there, you know, and
So when you've gone on, I'll tell you because we're on the same subject. You've given me the little ethos behind there, the Belching Beaver Brewery over there.
yeah.
Easy for me to say, but Dartmoor Brewery, they've got a similar type of thing that they have. They had 4 main ingredients to their brewing, but then they've recently changed that to 6 main ingredients. So we have English malt, the finest hops, local yeast, and pure Dartmoor water makes all their beers. But then number 5 is people, and number 6 is location. A
Oh,
beautiful
wow.
part of the world, and they think that all adds towards their beers. And each one of their beers is made with hops, water, and love. Hey,
That's
bit of
brilliant.
love,
That's going back to it.
bit of love in your pint.
That's brilliant.
We'll
That's
get it.
brilliant. So I like those 6 little points. Isn't that great?
Yeah, I like that because I was reading through different things like when we do a bit of background on these, and it come up with 4. on one page, and then when I went onto a couple of other ones, it said 6, and I thought, well, what the fuck's going on? But then they've added people and location. It's, you know, if they've got good people that work there and everyone's having a good time, then they're going to give their best effort, produce their best beers, and the location's wonderful. On their website, actually, they've got a cool little video which displays the beauty of Dartmoor. So if anyone
wow.
over there, it's only like 90 seconds long. And then at the end, there's people that have been cycling, walking, running, things like that, and families, and they're all in this pub, good old English pub, country pub. Guy comes out with a great big tray of JL Ale, which is the other beer that they do, and we'll get to that in a minute why it's called that. But what else you got for your one over there, Ref?
Yeah, but kind of going back to the same thing, because my Belching Brewery does the same thing. There's a great video when you go to their website. It's showing them making the beers at their different locations, pouring a pint, and the whole process. And I really like that. It kind of pops up straight away on their website.
So you said it's in California, yeah?
So it's in California, and they have 4 locations in California. So they have, let me list them for you. They have Oceanside Brewhouse, Pub 980, North Park Tasting Room, and they have a tavern and grill. So you can get some grilled foods out there and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. They do distribute to a large portion of the USA. So, you know, Alaska, they distribute.
So they've got these places, but where is that?
They're all in California, basically.
Yeah, I know. That's like saying I'm in Devon. But, I mean...
No, you're right, actually. Let me see.
I pulled him out here, folks.
Why did you put me in these places?
Well, my notes are thorough.
Yeah, you are very...
The history of the fucking town it's from.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
I'm going to interrupt him here because it's embarrassing. But this is... let's go back to my beer a minute. It's from a place called...
Just 1 minute. Yeah, just 1 minute.
Just a minute. I'll talk. I'll fill the gap. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You do your research. You do your home. You do your homework in class, if you will. Anyway, so
it's a professional outfit.
Dartmoor Brewery is in a place called Princetown. Now, Princetown is a small little village, really, rather than a town, and it's right in the middle of Dartmoor, up on the high ground. And in fact, Dartmoor Brewery is the highest brewery in the UK. It is 1,465 feet above sea level.
Wow.
The brewery itself is the second largest in Devon. So Princetown is this small little place, like I've said. It came about in 1785, and originally it was this guy called Sir Thomas Tyrwhitt, who was the secretary to the Prince of Wales, hence Princetown. Now, further to my research, there are a few pubs in Princetown. One is called the Prince of Wales, and the other one is called the Plume of Feathers. So you can see the link there to Wales.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So the Prince of Wales pub, going back to that, is where Simon Lovelace and Philip Davies, Welsh surname there, the old Davies, and they originally came up with Dartmoor Brewery in 1994, and it's gone from strength to strength from there. Another interesting fact about Princetown is that this Thomas Tyrwhitt decided that it would be a good place to have a prison.
A prison, did you say?
And that's where Dartmoor Prison is in Princetown. And it was originally built to hold prisoners French prisoners from the Napoleonic Wars. And at its height, had 8,000 French prisoners. Now, if you look at my beer there closely on camera, you can see a judge The top of that there is a silhouette of a judge with an English wig on. Over here, a judge will wear a wig on his head, which has got a special name, which I can't think of at the moment. And
It's in the Crown Court, right? So you
yeah,
get the judges with the wigs.
that is the judge of referring to the prison. So the prison's still up and running. It still has inmates in it. Recently had, in the last 20 years, had Shadow from Gladiators in there, and a few others, and a good friend of mine called Jeffrey once spent a couple of years in there for things that
Yeah.
Reformed character down in the world of good. Anyway, so that's a little bit of history about Princetown and where Dartmoor Brewery is stationed. That's where their brewery actually is, in Princetown. So I haven't been there for years and years and years. So I think I might take a little run out there when we can, because you can visit the brewery and that. I think it'd be a nice place.
Yeah, do a run around there. That'd be fantastic.
Well, I've done a run in the north of Dartmoor. It was probably about 10 miles from there. I've done it right from Oakhampton, which was a little bit above. And then we went on to Dartmoor, that end, and up the highest tours, Yes Tour and all that. So this is a bit south of there. So yeah, it's definitely worth a day out, I think.
Fantastic. Dartmoor's beautiful. Beautiful. I know that's that's interesting, man. I didn't actually know Dartmoor Prison was still open. For some reason in the back of my head I thought it was closed, but obviously it's operational. I'm just going to jump in here and just tell you the locations of my brewery. It's yeah, it's actually, they're pretty much based in Vista, California. 2 locations in Vista, including the bar and grill, and they also have a location in Oceanside. And
Oceanside is a place, is it? It's not.
It is a place. It is.
I see. Sorry.
I think it didn't. There was a band that sang about Ocean. No, it was Ocean Drive. Sorry, not Oceanside.
Oh, the Lighthouse band.
Lighthouse band.
I don't think they were from.
That's right. Yeah, maybe it's close to Ocean Drive.
Maybe they should have released that version in America. Oceanside. Oceanside.
It's light, relaxing music. One day I want to.
I'll tweet him.
Yeah, tweet him.
I've got to get a Twitter account first, but I'll do that.
One day. And the other place is San Diego, and everyone knows San Diego. I think that's where the Route 66 finishes, San Diego, if I'm not wrong. But I am going to list a few of their beers before you list yours, if you don't mind. And then we will be moving on.
This is from the Belching Beaver Brewery, is it?
This is the Belching Beaver
Belching.
It's a tongue twister.
Well, he's not as uncouth as a burper. He's a belcher. A little more refined. A
little more refined, you know.
I'm interested to see what their names are. I think there could be a bit of fun.
Okay. There's some cool names, actually. These are just some of their kind of signature beers, if you will. They do a honeyed wheat ale, and it's called Miso Honey Blonde. And that's a 5.5% blonde beer, and it's called Miso.
It's very Mexican to me.
Miso Honey Blonde.
Sounds a bit Chinese, that one.
It kind of reminds me of like Thailand for some reason. Miso Honey Blonde.
Okay, you're turning it blue again.
Okay. was blue about an accent. Okay, they also do a very good IPA. Called Deftones Phantom Bride release, and
that's a mouthful. Have a pint of that.
Get that down your neck. And if you like the peanut butter, they also do another peanut butter milk stout called Peanut Butter Milk Stout Nitro.
Oh, it's a nitro.
There you go, the expert on such things.
Well, not really. I was just,
follow the instructions.
Follow the instructions and you have a good time.
Yeah, so I think that covers. I did want to just quickly mention before we go on that they do employ 170 170 employees they have, so that's a good,
Size
good
outfit.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a big outfit in California.
Well, I've got a few beers listed by these guys. They do not as interesting names as your. Well, Dragon's Breath is a good one, obviously, but we've just got Best, which is an amber ale. We've got Three Hairs, which is a IPA. We've got just IPA, so Dartmoor IPA, it would be called. We got a cask ale called Legend, which I haven't tried that. I don't
Sounds
think.
nice.
Actually, I might have drunk that the other week. I can't remember. And then they've got the JLA, which is very popular around here. Now these can all be found in pubs when they're open around Dartmoor, and it's a bit like Exmoor as well. Exmoor, and we'll do a few of their beers. They got Exmoor Gold and a lot of Exmoor beers, which are very popular around that area. So
Yeah.
they're lovely to pull on the big old pumps in the pub. Getting the draw on the.
What's the update on pubs opening just for our DrayBarrels?
Well, over here they're going to open in I think a couple of weeks, but for
Okay.
gardens only at the moment.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not sure if you have to book those tables. I don't think so. I think you do, well, some places, but like I put out there the other day, my local pub, which I was worried about, the community was worried about because it was looking like it was going to close, is under new management. And I put a photo of it out there the other day on our thing. And when I went past it yesterday, they've got a nice new decking bit outside. They're getting all ready. A nice new deck outside, and so we can drink outside. But that's going to be,
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how long that's going to be drinking outside, at least a month
Right.
before you can go back in a pub, maybe longer. Um,
It's a start, though, isn't it?
it's a start, yeah. You've got to
Yeah, I
get the
gotta
pubs
say it's a
working
start.
again.
So we are kind of getting towards that time, Ref, and I'm just going to introduce a segment, if you don't mind, unless you got more to say on the.
No.
Okay, so it's called. Oh, it's Dregs of the Week. So it's Dregs of the Week time. We're kind of getting to that point. Do you want me to start?
Well, I've only got a little one this week, so I don't
Oh,
know how
you
involved.
go. You go.
Yeah, well, mine is if you've worked somewhere before and you've left, and then you might bump into some guys, or you might drive past where other people are working. This tends to be people that working outdoors, no doubt. Because if you drove past the old office you used to work in, you might not see much. But
Yeah.
anyway, near where I am, they're building a new supermarket, and they've had a lot of landscaping done outside, freshen up the area. It's going to look lovely when it's done. And the company that are doing it is a company that we have both flirted with in our past, in our careers, if you will.
Yes.
And I saw these boys this morning out there. I drove my son to school, so I saw them about 8:30, and then I saw them again about 2:30. Two guys planting up a bank of different things and plants, and I just looked at it and I thought, is that all you've done?
Wow.
I actually got angry at a place that I hadn't worked at for over 15 years at least, thinking, fucking hell, man, is that all you've done? But
Wow.
then maybe why would you push yourself when the people that employ you are.
So is your drag there? Is it the people that are pushing them, or would it be their work ethic and not getting those plants, not getting more done? I mean, I can relate to that because that does. If you're not getting a lot done in a day as a manager now, I get pissed off, and I
They don't,
push
they
my
don't,
I
they
push
plant.
my people to the limit. Well, I don't, not the limit, but I try to get as. I've got a good work ethic, and I know you do as well, Gav. Um,
Well, they planted them up. There was no pattern to it. Maybe they've probably been told how to plant it. and it was just maybe they planted 100 plants between two of them.
In a day.
Yeah, right. And I thought, fuck that, I could do that on my own,
But,
mate. And it was already, the ground was already turned over.
right.
But
So
anyway,
you
it's
dig it.
just a mini dreg. Maybe there's other things that come into play, and they think, well,
I
fuck it.
almost need, and I was going to say that could be my drag, but I'll stick to my drag.
Yeah, I'm interested because you did say that this is something that you could really go into. So
Yeah, I really want to talk about, well, I'm not going to talk about because we're kind of getting down to the line a little bit. You know, we want to keep this precise. But my drag is recycling. And specifically,
they saved the planet, didn't you?
well, exactly. What year are we living in? 2021. And how far ahead of the game was Britain on recycling? I remember going back 12, 15 years maybe. Had all our special bins for recycling, putting our plastics, putting our stuff in. Texas, I'm not saying America in general, but my in-laws live in a subdivision. There's no recycling facility set up for them. They put everything into landfill, you know, and I know my in-laws would love to recycle, but there's no facility, there's nothing set up. My company has just set up a recycling bin probably a month ago. A month. I mean, come on. How far ahead is Europe in the scheme of
Do you
things?
think, right? I play devil's advocate here, but do you think
Yeah.
that the vastness of Texas, with a lot of desert sort of wasteland, if you will, there's so much room for landfill there, where we are in Devon, especially, they're running out of landfill.
Yeah, but as a forward-thinking nation, and you know, the America kind of fell behind a little bit in the climate change and stuff, as you well know, and politics. But as a forward-thinking nation, shouldn't they have been? I mean, they're ahead on everything for the most part, as we all know. But it's just so, and it's not an excuse, is it? You got space.
I know
Um,
it's not an excuse, but maybe it's not such an urgent thing, is what I'm trying to say. It's not a matter of urgency. I mean, over here, I went
but
to one of those.
globally, it's a matter of urgency, isn't it? I mean,
Maybe
oh,
there's a fucking outlet there. Then maybe you should think about setting up some sort of recycling business.
so doesn't the US, sorry, doesn't the UK ship their recycle to
China.
countries like Norway and Sweden to recycle it all because they haven't got the capacity or the infrastructure to do it?
There you go, folks. There's those little.
you, you
He's
heard it
just
here.
down to the bottom of the sea, and he's out.
That's the dregs for you.
Oh, that is good. No,
But
I get what you're saying. I mean, often it was America that wouldn't sign these global G20 manifestos on climate change, especially Trump. He weren't interested in that, was he?
no, it's kind of a
He doesn't
political
believe in
thing.
climate change.
No, it's kind of a political thing as well, isn't it? Because it
I mean, no
depends on
one's
the
going to talk
party.
about climate change when our sun's supernovas. You ain't got a bloody choice then.
Yeah, yeah. But it's just weird because I think it's kind of sporadic because I go to Austin a lot, as you know. And it's like you go into HEB, which is kind of the big supermarket equivalent of Tesco's or Sainsbury's. And in Austin,
Oh,
well, they don't give you plastic bags, and you have to take your own. And this is one HEB. You know, it's not Spa.
oh.
Um,
You have to do that over here. You have to take your own bags here.
yeah, well, that's it. You
And
know, it's a
if you
big.
haven't got a bag, you have to pay
You
for
pay,
one.
right? You pay. So I love
I
that.
thought in America, the big thing that I've always had from movies and stuff is that you put your groceries in big brown bags.
Exactly, and that's something I wanted to talk about because, like, you always see these movies, and it's always good big old paper bags which are highly recyclable. I get here, and there's none of the kind. apart from the Trader Joe's, which I will just I've talked about their beers and how I've picked up beers from them, and I've done a couple of reviews, but they always provide you with paper bags. But you go to the big outlets like Walmart and Costco and all those, and there's no paper bags. So,
I,
yeah, like my accent. Um, so, that's my drag.
well, I can see where you're coming from, and I would suggest that if you and any of your friends over there have got a little bit of spare cash, I would go into a recycling firm, pretty sharpish, and then coin it in, mate.
Dude, I'd be interested to
I mean,
know.
if they've got nothing about, the environment and nothing about recycle centres, then you could get people's shit and just fly tip it. Fuck it.
You heard it here first, folks.
Make a bit of coin.
There is one recycle centre I've been past, and apparently I thought it was just for
What is it, recycling ammunition? Come on.
something like that. I thought it was just for green waste, but yeah, I think that, and to be fair to our apartments, they do offer a recycling facility here, but it just worries me, like subdivisions outside the city where my father-in-law lives and other places. How many places? It's a big place. It's growing population. How many places aren't recycling? So anyway,
Well, you better think about that. I mean, being the new California, you better think about getting your recycling because they love all that avocados and recycling in Cali.
they do, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I bet Belching Beaver Brewery do it.
I bet they do, yeah. I bet
Anyway,
they recycle their peanut husks.
I know. Anyway, so okay, well, we're at the end of this podcast, Ref. Any more to add?
Yeah,
Listen to us, watch us, right?
yeah, watch us, pray with us, sing with us, whatever you want.
Hallelujah.
My beer, I was supposed to have said this right in the beginning. It seems silly to say at the end, but the ingredients in it, they're flavoured with black treacle, caramel, and licorice, which together sounds fucking rank. It sounds. I mean, licorice isn't one of my big favourites anyway. I can taste something in the back, but it's not like overpowering at all. I say that the taste of Morello cherries is in it. My palate isn't picking that up, but it's just a nice beer. I often don't drink beer because of the different flavors. I drink it because of the overall flavor that I like it,
Yeah.
And I have enjoyed this beer. It's not popped out at me too much. It's not knocked me off my feet or anything like that. It's solid. It's just a standard beer. So I'm going 7.
7.
7 for the refs. Sorry, 7 for you, ref, over there for your little thing, and
Okay.
the governor over here. It's a straight 7.
Great. I will. So obviously I've had quite a few peanut butter stouts and more of these sweeter stouts, and I'm kind of comparing it to that as you would. It's nice. It's a very good dessert beer. But in the scheme of things, I've had better, sweeter beers, so I'll probably just chalk this up to 7.5. 7.5. I enjoyed it. I got to be honest, but I've had better. So 7.5 for that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay,
fair.
well, I think that as you say, we're coming to the end, and you've enjoyed today's episode. One from Dartmoor, half a mile from the prison. This is brewed. You can probably see the walls of the prison from this brewery, and all the way from the big old Beaver in California.
Yeah, the coast of California, Oceanside, all those tropical locations. So there's a span for you, DrayBarrels, if there ever was one.
Position, if ever I've heard of one, but
Yeah,
it's all fun. It's all beers with your friends and having a nice time.
exactly. And that's the message from 2 breweries today. So think about that, and we will see you for the next one.
Take care, everyone. Have a good week.
Cheers.